Welcome everyone to the SERL Domino's Pizza Truck Series Season 2, Race 24, and this time we are going back in time to race on Bridgehampton, a 2.85 mile, 13-turn road course located in Sag Harbor, New York. And this racetrack lasted from 1957 to 1998, and its heydays were during the 50s and 60s when Trans Am and NASCAR raced on this course for a couple of years, and professional racing stopped in the 70s. And what can we expect to see, and what will we see? Well, I will explain that as I show you a map of this road course. So here it is. I think that speeds are going to be fast, and I think that the competition will be pretty close. And why do I say that? Well, for one, I think that even though you probably could go 4 wide if these drivers really wanted to, but I think that realistically, I think that it is more of a two-groove racetrack, and I think especially on the start, we're going to see some really close competition, and that could lead to some disasters. Where will these disasters occur? I don't really know. My best guess is that the trouble spots are in corners like turn number 3, maybe even like corners like turn 8, 9, 10, and 11. That's where we could. That's where we could see some disasters, but I don't really know until this race starts. Also, I think at this racetrack is somewhat the king of blind corners. Not only is there a lot of elevation change, but also if you just overall look at this course, I want to see. Can I get a better angle? Yeah, there are some around this racetrack. There's not really a whole lot of walls, but there is a lot of hills. And to me, I think at these hills is what causes these blind corners. And so the thing is, if we have an accident, for example, right around here, the drivers just entering these corners, they may not be able to see it, and that could lead to some pileups. Also, we got to talk about the championship picture. So after last week's race at Talladega, entering that race, it was a really close battle between Cleve Crafton and Garrett Sindor. Cleve Crafton went on to win the race. Garrett Sindor did not get into any trouble, but he just simply did not finish that great. I think he finished like 16th. Cleve Crafton went on to win. And so because of that, it's now a 20-point gap between Cleve Crafton and Garrett Sindor. There is one other driver that is just barely hanging on, and is Abe Troxel, who got himself back up into the picture with a good finish. But to me, I think that I still think that it's going to be a Cleve Crafton and Garrett Sindor show all the way to the end. But anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we now get the trucks rolling off. So, some last notes. So, I think that this race is really going to depend. I know I kind of say this every single week, but to me, the later we get into the season, the more I think it's more of a topic. If Cleve Crafton can finish better than Garrett Sindor, then I think Cleve Crafton could put himself in a position to where he could probably lock up the championship heading to Las Vegas. Or if Garrett Sindor finishes better than Cleve Crafton, then it could be a close battle all the way to Armory Digital Super Speedway. Also today, I think I'm going to be doing a couple of flybys during green flag runs at some of the trouble spots, for example, on the start of the race. Anyway, so the front row, we have Charles Belding and Peyton Keys. Charles Belding, the defending series champion, but has yet to win a race this season, and Peyton Keys, who is the Dover winner from a couple weeks ago. As the pace car makes a hard right onto the pit road. And for the first time ever at Bridgehampton Super Speedway, we are green! So pretty, okay, I'm not seeing a whole lot of fan now, but that might change in the future. Anyway, as we go down to the first couple corners, still side by side. As I'm still suffering through frame, right? I'm not seeing as much 3 and 4 wide as I thought we might see on this start. And right there is the points leader, Cleve Crafton. Right behind him is Garrett Sindor as we now drive through more of this like forest like area of the race course. And up front, Charles Belding has pulled away from everyone else as well. Jacob Reed. Elgin Mills. He's also, of course. Oh my goodness, here, another crash! Hey, Jefferson. Oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the caution. And Dale Scott. So looks like that. So looks like that. There was an accident that involved not Jim Kelly, Jacob Reed and Elgin Mills. It looks like we had a separate incident involving the 31 of Dale Scott and the 13 of Hayden Jefferson. And in the meantime, man, look at the lead that Charles Billing was able to get. If he can get that lead in just one lap, the rest of the field could be in some serious trouble. I talked about the hills and how they really make many of these corners blind corners. Well, also these hills can really tear up race cars, or in this case trucks. And here's what happened. So Elgin Mills decides to go to the inside to block Jacob Reed, but he couldn't do it in time because the two of them made contact. And look at this. Up onto the hill, and look at this. Elgin Mills, despite Elgin Mills flipping end over end and looking like he has a lot more damage, he's actually able to get his truck rolling, and Jacob Reed can't. So there is a possibility that Jacob Reed might be able to continue on. But now let's take a look and see what happened to Hayden Jefferson and Dale Scott. The reason for this crash? Once again, a driver tries to change lanes but doesn't do it in time. Hayden Jefferson changes lanes, but then Dale Scott was there. The two of them made contact, and from there on, it's on. But both drivers go upside down. But Hayden Jefferson really took a hard, violent impact and flipped wildly. Once the season is over, and I think back to Elgin Mills' season in this series, I'm gonna probably think about how he started off the season really bad, really struggling, but then these past several weeks, especially in the second half, he had really picked up the pace, and after Talladega, he got himself up into 8th place in points, which I think is the highest he's been all season. Now, in this crash, he's probably not going to finish 8th in the point standings, but I think overall it was a nice comeback, but it just wasn't meant to be for him to win the championship. There have been a few shining moments for Dale Scott this season, but for the most part, many times this season it has been like this. And this is why he is around dead last in points, or maybe he is dead last in points. I cannot exactly remember. This will be changed when we get the green flag, but Jacob Reed is actually not out of the race. Hayden Jefferson and Dale Scott are out of the race, but actually Elgin Mills is out of the race, but that'll be scored in just a second. Jacob Reed is actually going to restart at the tail end of the line, 1 lap down, or maybe even 2 laps down. So, interesting. Anyway, exiting the final corner, Charles Boney brings us back to the green flag. Now let's see if anyone is going to be able to challenge him now that we restart single file. The only focus now is the driver directly in front of you. I've said it many times, I'll say it again, it's just simply super hard to pass on road courses, and here we go. Kenny Hamlin makes the first move to the inside of Pankey's, and he might be able to get that spot. Well, my goodness. Andrew Gorman and Pankey's almost got off course. Behind them, Clark Crafton actually did get off course. Oh, there we go. Biff Crafton and Bobby Unit spin. Is that going to bring out a caution? Let's actually. Oh well, this is actually one of the spots that I'm actually going to view right here, and it's where the Dale Scott and actually passed it. No caution, actually. It's no caution, but what I'm gonna guess what happened is that Bobby, I think it was Bobby, who came down on Biff Crafton. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Oh my god, and oh my gosh, behind them, Kendall Minor has some danger here, but it looks like all of a sudden someone held up everyone else. Or wait a second, this might have been the field that slowed down to avoid Biff Crafton and Bobby Una. Yeah, I think that explains why they are so far back. But anyway, we have now found ourselves in the middle of a green flag running. Here we go, battle for the lead. Payne Key is trying to get his second career victory of the season to the outside of Charles Belding. Cannot make the pass. Here comes the Andrew Gorman in the 19, a driver that is also in search of his first career victory. Behind them, Kenny Hamlin, and right here, we have a pretty close battle. Whoa, my goodness, Blaine Key's got a really good run through that corner. Matt Hotchkiss, Lonnie Mills Jr. Clive Crafton, it looks like that he is continuing to move up in the positions. Garrett Sinor looks like he is sliding back. But this could all change. We still have a long way to go. And actually, here we go. A lead change just occurred. Payne Keys is now a leader. I believe in every single road course race we've had, we've either had only one leader or we've only had two different leaders. I don't think in any of the road course events we've had this season have we had more than two leaders. But that could change if Andrew Gorman is able to get by Payne Keys and lead a lap, which it looks like. Yep, he is coming. Andrew Gorman, he has come close before to the inside. Well, Payne Keys gets off course. That might slow him down. Here we go. Down the backstretch right here. They are side by side. I think they're side by side. Whoa, my goodness! Payne Keys gets a good run off of that corner, and he will be able to hold on. Now Andrew Gorman, he better not get himself all caught up in the leader, because here comes Charles Belding. But looks like Andrew Gorman, he's coming back. Yeah, I think Andrew Gorman might possibly have the faster car. Crafton once again moves up another position, as we now have a side-by-side battle between Jimmy Johns and Jim Kelly. Justin Talampas, Garrett Sinor gained a spot. Ooh. Something happened to Aiden Stars. Yeah, I think that possibly explains why Garrett Sinor gained a spot, because I think Aiden Stars was ahead of him. So something happened to him. Luke Walker in the 10. He is one of several drivers that is trying to stay that's trying to keep their slim championship hopes alive, and those drivers are, he's one of those several drivers, but the others are Andrew Gorman, Johnny Worth, Dean Warren, Philip Goldberg, Aiden Sires, Luke Walker, Elgin Mills, Ben Braley, and Payne Keys. Right now, at least two of those drivers are currently the top two on the racetrack: Payne Keys and Andrew Gorman. Garrett Sinor now has some company: Cameron Garlington and Abe Troxell. It looks like, and now it looks like Philip Goldberg, he's now gonna get by Jim Kelly and maybe now set his sights to maybe challenge Clive Crafton. But anyway, it looks like that. If we're gonna have a winner, I think it's gonna either be Payne Keys or Andrew Gorman. I don't know if Charles Belding really has the speed, unless we have maybe another restart. But he is actually doing a good job at hanging with Andrew Gorman and Payne Keys. But let's just see right here. Let's use the helicopter. I believe it looks like that. Maybe Payne Keys gets a better run, exiting. What corner is this? I think Payne Keys does a better job at. Yeah, I think that spot is usually Andrew Gorman's best spot, but right there, that's where Payne Keys, yeah, that's where he gets to that corner much more better, and I think that's been one of the reasons why he's been able to still be our leader, because he really knows how to get through those somewhat S's. Blanky's in the 88, a driver that's had a very struggling season. He's having a nice, great run inside the top 5. Kenny Hamlin, I said last week at Talladega, just before I went on board him, about how there was that period in the season where he just kept on going up. But the last several weeks he's been going down and down. Is this where the down stops? Maybe. Let's just see if he can hold on. Meanwhile, Ansars, who I guess is back up to speed, was actually able to get around both Bridgehampton and Bumpy. But 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 I think that Baba Unit and Bridgehampton aren't slow enough to where they're going to be any to where there isn't going to where there probably isn't going to be any interference. Anyway, can Andrew Gorman get by paying keys? I think he can, but to me, I think that he's got to have a perfect lap. If he does not have a perfect lap, then I don't think he can get by paying keys, or paying keys really needs to screw up. But anyway, here we go. Andrew Gorman, he's getting a good run. Here he is, down to the inside. Not inside, outside, sorry. Here we go. Can he complete the pass? Here we go, down into turns 1, 2. No, he can't. Oh my goodness. Almost contact. Here we go. Here comes Andrew Gorman. To the inside, he got a really good run to the last corner. But look at this. It has now caused Charles Bowen to catch up to them. Blank Keys, Kenny Hamlin. Here comes Charles Bowen to the inside of Andrew Gorman. I don't think Andrew Gorman wants to give up that spot. And in the meantime, look at Payne Keys. He's just sailing away as Charles Belling now has gone by Andrew Gorman. So now is Charles Belling's car. Is Charles Belling's car secretly all this time a long run car? Maybe. As Andrew Gorman, he might actually lose third. Gets off road. It keeps it going. Now Kenny Hamlin is holding up Blank Keys. Blank Keys now goes to the inside of Kenny Hamlin, or tries to, not inside, outside. I for some reason maybe because most other tracks we go to are ovals. Every time someone makes a pass, because on ovals you can't really make passes on the outside. That's why I'm so used to saying he's making a pass on the inside. Yeah, but anyway, look at this. Charles Belling, he's now giving it a go. Can he get by Payne Keys? With these two being side by side, it might help Andrew Gorman catch them. Charles Belling, he has the spot. Whoa, my goodness, Andrew Gorman, of course, they're here, and behind them, Kenny Hamlin flips into the fence. Oh my goodness, he was in the 4th position that last time by. Did Blank Keys turn him? It looks like it was Blank Keys. Watch out here. We may not be done wrecking yet. But they should bring out the caution, and here we go. Yeah, they should bring out the caution. So here we go. Payne Keys once again gets a great run through that spot that now. Charles Belling is now under attack from Andrew Gorman, but I think it's all over. This should bring out the caution. Yep, the caution is out. Anyway, and coming through the last 2 corners as they go side by side for 2nd place, Payne Keys. He for the most part he has dominated the race. Coming out of the last few corners, he should be able to come to the line, and he could win this race. The reason why I say could is that I just remembered. Caution laps at road courses it's only 2 laps. It's not 4 laps like it is at everywhere else. So the thing is, this should be a caution lap, and the next lap is also a caution lap. But to me, I think that we actually should have a white flag. But let's take a look and see what happened to Kenny Hamlin. When it gets down to the late stages of the race, these drivers are more aggressive than ever before, and I think that's what Blank Keys was doing. He was being super aggressive, trying to get by Kenny Hamlin. Made contact. Blank Keys was able to save it, but Kenny Hamlin was not. His car goes airborne and then just takes a wild ride. And I was just talking about how these past several weeks he had been going down, down, down after being up, up, up. But looks like, yeah, once again, even though it was not his fault, is going to be another down, and to me, he is not going to be happy with Blank Keys at all. On board, Blank Keys. The downside by being that aggressive in that area of the racetrack is that it cost him to lose a lot of spots. And I think that definitely eliminates any chance of him getting his first career victory. Never mind. I guess it was so late in the race that I guess that they just decided to end the race under caution anyway. And I guess maybe it is to prevent any accidents like that again. But anyway, that is another race in the books. And now we only have 2 more races to go. And when I look at the drivers that finished great, Payne Keys wins his 2nd race, his 2nd time in 3 weeks. Andrew Gorman once again very close. Charles Belling very close for our defending series champion, but that was definitely a performance by Charles Belling that I don't think I can recall seeing all season long. Now Hotchkiss, a great finish after struggling for week in and week out the past several weeks. Lion Mills Jr. top five, but here's the thing. Club Crafton finished sixth. Garrett Center finished 11th. So now I think it was a 20-point margin entering this race, and I think now it's going to be a 25-point margin. So at this rate, Garrett Center might need some luck on his side. It was a very similar story. It was a very similar story. I believe it was a very similar story a season ago where by this point in the season it was Garrett Senor and Charles Belding. But to me, Garrett Senor, he wasn't as good as Charles Belding super late in the season, and I think that's what cost Garrett Senor. And by the time we got to the finale, he was so far behind that in some ways it would have been almost impossible. So I think next week is definitely going to be the deciding factor in who is probably going to win this championship. So be sure to stay tuned for Las Vegas, and also be sure to stay tune in for the other two series, because the thing is, the American Ethanol Series goes to Road America, and I thought Road America was on the Hot Wheels Cup Series schedule. Well, I was wrong. And the Hot Wheels Cup Series, they go to they're the ones that actually go to Silverstone, so I got those two dates mixed up. But anyway, so I would like to thank everyone for watching this race. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and buy. Congrats to Hayden Keys.